Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Find You Fridays. I hope you're having an absolutely brilliant day today. I'm hoping that all of the lovely energies and everything that has been hitting us this week has you've actually managed to handle it with relative ease. Good evening, Melinda. Good evening. I hope you've had a beautiful week. Hello, Tamara. I hope you too have had a lovely, lovely week. I just realised I got a bit of a funny line happening. It's all good. Yummy. I can't remember what it was. This is a tea from New Zealand, and it's one that was sent over to me very specially a little while back. And it's got black currant and I think it might be manuka honey, something like that. It's very yummy. It's one of the teas that, because I have only ever had it once, it's like my packet of, I think it might be 10 or 15, I've stretched out. So I allow myself a treat every now and then. Oh dear. How's everybody been this week? With all these lovely solar energies and all the rest of the stuff going on. And we're coming up to eclipse season. We've got our full moon on Sunday. So, yeah, we've got our full moon eclipse, which is the start of the eclipse season, happening this Sunday. And I feel the energies of that are building. The big, huge solar flares that have been rocking through this last few days to a week have certainly been making people feel a little bit on the wobbly side, I know for sure. And something that I did share up on my page. So this comes from, who did this? Hang on, zoom in so I can read it. The Quater Voice created this. So just so that you're aware, Saturn is retrograding back into Pisces to release old stories, trials, and lessons that we've carried since the mid-90s, once and for all. Uranus is about to retrograde too, shaking up the unexpected. The Schumann has been mincing shame and fear out of us like a garlic grinder. And now we've arrived at eclipse season with the upcoming 9/9 portal at the same time. Major cosmic shifts. This is big. August already dragged us through hell, burnt, exhausted, and mascara running, but we are still here, covered in ash, watching the chaos burn. And as wrecked as we are stepping into something brilliantly unfathomable, the end of a cycle. Culminations, finales, healing bloodlines. Has it been brutal? Absolutely. Cried and raged and wanting to tap out? You bet. Necessary? Fuck yes. Healing, breaking cycles, rewriting history. It's messy, it hurts, it scorches, but like Winona at the end of Heathers, we may be fried, but we're free, and something epic is about to begin. So, if that tells you anything about the energies that we are dealing with right now, it's a lot, my friends. It's a lot. And if you felt like that at all over this last week, hats off to you for being here. So Melinda said, tired from working all, and realized as I walked out of work tonight that the moon is full and in the sky already. Yes, it is very close to being full. I actually saw that as I was seeing off my friend after doing a wee healing session on her this afternoon. I've done 2 sessions today, did an online and an in-person one. So that was really, really cool. And yeah, it's been a big week, even for me. Well, it's been not even, just for me in general as well. So yeah, there's been some really amazing things happen this week too. But one of the things that happened was on Thursday, I was on a hoarded deceased estate clear out, and I did something like 14,000 steps and carried a lot of loads to the big skip bins because everything was going. There's no family to do this work, so we have to do it, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and I was feeling very exhausted by the end of yesterday. I was very, I was in bed and asleep by 8 o'clock, and that's almost unheard of for me. I think the last time I was like that was probably when I traveled or when I've been ill. And as we all know, I don't get ill. So not in the last 10 years anyway, except for that one time. But we won't talk about that one time because that one time was not actually a cold or a cough or a bug. Tamara said, my boy has been sick. He had a week and a half off school. Tuesday, he was doing much better, so I took him to the beach for some sun, fresh air, and grounding was so good. Yes, that is the perfect remedy for somebody who's feeling unwell and perhaps even just tuning in on all of the other Schumann stuff. I mean, in the last few weeks, I've seen multiple reports where there's been literal blackouts in the Schumann reports. And it's like, it's where it's so off the charts. The counter, the regulator, the machines can't even fathom it. And that just tells you how big of a shift that we are doing right now. And like, I was explaining to both clients today actually about the fact that we are in a space now of 4D. We are out of 3D. We are in 4D, whether we fucking like it or not. And with that comes the space of our emotions. 4D is just a transitional space, and we are dealing with our emotions right now. We're dealing with all the feelings, all the stuff that we've been trying to push down and push away. Hence the reason why last month there was a lot to do with dealing with that old childhood trauma stuff. It was about looking at our dreams, looking forward, but also honoring the past and honoring our softer, tender spots as well. And where we'll go tonight with our meditation, I'm not sure. I have a couple of ideas, but it's just, we'll see how we go with our readings today, because that always generally tells me which direction we require to go. So some of you may or may not have realized that I have started reloading or separating out those meditations. And I have been putting them up into its own little podcast section on YouTube. And here we go. Within that is some of our most recent meditations in there, and they are going to continue to be released as we go forward. I'll continue to chop them out and pop them up, and I'll throw in some of the other ones from other seasons in there as I continue to do the editing. So at the moment it's just weekly. I did release the one about getting rid of your blocks, removing your blocks to your dreams and desires. That one got re-released today. And there'll be another one released on Saturday next week. So yeah, keep an eye out on that lovely lovely little link there. So you can always find the podcast channel over on YouTube by doing the @ symbol and then Lorene Hughes. It's really simple. Just go @ Lorene Hughes and it'll bring it up and you'll see it there. Click on the podcast little tab and you'll see that there's this show and then there's the meditations show, and I think you'll actually find Tasty Tuesdays over there too. So that's fun. That's something that we used to do. It's the the community connection interview show that we had for just a little over a season, and that was heaps of fun. I enjoyed doing that stuff too, but here we are. We're enjoying this too. Melinda said, "Oh, last week's was beautiful. I did it last night before going to bed. It really relaxed me. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome." Yeah, I've now got enough space and mental, physical space within to do the editing that is required. Sometimes the editing is very quick and simple, and other times it requires a little bit more tweaking here and there. The content doesn't change. It's just sometimes I might remove a yawn or maybe where I've done a lot of ums or stuff like that, just to keep it flowing a little bit nicer. As I say, and occasionally I'll also add in the intro as such so that people know what they're getting into. Other times I won't. So yeah. Good evening, Raya. You had a question. Well, that's good. You've obviously had it answered by now. If it's in the past. Anywho, we best be getting into our weekly reading for the collective. Maybe that will answer any other questions Raya may have. And of course, not forgetting, of course, that the people who do donate always get preference, and they will always get an extended reading from me. And otherwise, those others will have to, depending on how time goes. We also do the poetry reading, which is a unique thing to Find You Fridays, where we do an intuitive poetry pool. You can tell I've done a couple of sessions today. My brain is like very relaxed. I am so spacious right now. Oh yeah, and I had a bath this morning, so I am super spacious. I am on my deliciousness right now, and I had an incredible dream this morning. So even though I was awake at 4 o'clock in the morning and I was awake for an hour and then I went back to sleep, there was an amazing dream that I had, which was so healing. And those of you who are friends of mine over in Facebook land will have seen that post that I put up. If you haven't, there's the post with my legs in the bath. That's to do with that one. If you're lucky, I might read it out for you. For now, though, let me have a look. Oh, this is around the wrong way. Isn't it funny? We get into these funny little habits of things, just something's not quite around the right way. Or not in the right place. Oh, somebody's talking to me already. In my ear holes. Ooh, I got gifted a new set of cards this week too. So that was really cool. I don't know if they'll come out to play, but when they do, I'll let you know that they are my new ones. Hi, Christine. Hello, Edwina. Ooh, energies are moving already. I love it. So it was super nice to have my healing room has finally been christened. I did a session today and it was fucking rocking session. So many different things all came into play. There was Reiki, there was body processes, there was energetic facelift, there was entity clearings, there was fairy magic, there was like creator theta magic, there was oh, it was fabulous. So I'm looking forward to receiving many more people into my lovely healing room. Just so grateful for it, and it's a good day. It's a very, very good day. My landlords have put in some new septic, so that's a great day for everybody. Hopefully you all who are watching, Raya, Edwina, Christine, hope you've all had a great week, or at least a week where you feel like you survived with grace. All right, let's have a look at this reading for the collective. Yes, I can do online Reiki sessions, Christine. Absolutely. Anything is possible with metaphysics. I do prefer in person, but I think it's a little far for you to come. All right, so this week to come. Interesting. It looks like okay, Christine, just book it in as a normal online session, love. And if my availability is there, then you'll be able to see it. And yeah, just do it as a normal online session. I may not have opened up the Reiki ones, but it's okay that I can do it that way. Either way. Hang on. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. In fact, I might be able to do it from here. Maybe. Let me see. Yeah, just book it in as an online session. I've got to have a look at that to do it as what that's asking for. So I'll have to do that separately when I'm not sitting here. Okay? So yeah, just do it that way. And it's it'll be all good. All right. So for the collective, for the week to come from the 6th of September through to the 12th of September, which of course includes the full moon on the 7th, the eclipse that's coming through, and the 9/9 portal, and safe to say our heads are going to get a bit bashed in. And what's the possibility that we can all handle this with ease and grace? That would be lovely, wouldn't it? So this week, don't be surprised if you feel like you require a little bit more comfort in your world, that you might be reaching for those nice, cuddly, snuggly blankets and your Uggies and, you know, the things that make you feel soft and comfortable and just nurtured. That is a very high possibility this week, okay? Just while all of these energies are moving through and you're allowing yourself to go through all of those energies and just be present with them. Don't try to push them away. Don't try to make them not be as they are, because each of those energies that are coming up right now are here to help you move forward, to help you transition with more ease through this 4D space so that we can achieve 5D much quicker. If you resist and react to all of these energies popping up in the 4D space, then you're going to have a much, much harder job. Okay, so just be aware that that is what is coming up at the moment. Okay, well done, Christine. Thank you. Our next card is Overcoming Difficulties, and which says the worst is behind you now and you are surmounting any previous challenges. Now, this is very true because the 3D realm is now done. We are for sure in the 4D realm. And while that may seem, being in the 4D may seem very challenging within itself because it is bringing up a lot of these old energies, these childhood energies, these pains, these traumas, all that sort of stuff for us to deal with so that we can shift them off and let them go and see them on their way. The worst part is actually done. And the fact that you are still here, still alive, and still doing the thing means that you have surmounted those challenges. So this is a card very much saying, congratulations, well done, keep going. Okay, you have now got your wings and you are learning to fly with them, and it's okay that it feels a little bit wobbly right now. And as you continue to get practice with keeping your flow with the energies, with your emotions, and being aware of other people's emotions and not letting them, tamp you down, being a downdraft, and bringing people into your world that are giving you the updraft. We continue on the flying metaphor. You will continue to find your flow with a lot more ease through this time. Okay, so keep going. You're doing great. All right. Now, the next two cards are quite interesting, I find, because I think after the 9/9 portal, which is on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these next two cards are to do with Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. So don't be surprised if after Tuesday you have this incredible shift within you. Like you wake up on Wednesday morning and you go, something feels different today. Whether you've done, some sort of clearing and opening and ask a request, some sort of ritual, whatever. Whether it's just you get out there on the full moon and just go and just enjoy the full moon and have that moment of just gently asking with your heart. Like there have been times, especially, what would it be, 2.5 years ago when I was still living at the old place. And there would be times I would just stand in my back door and look up at the moon and just make quiet little requests of what I would like for my month moving forward, what I would like for me personally. And that's as much as a ritual as I would do. I would just ask from the honesty of my heart. Okay? So it's like just be that space. Be that space for you in whatever little ways you can. This is why we've got the full moon background tonight, because it's to remind you, take a tiny little bit of time. You don't have to do a full candles and crystals and fire and all of that. If you want to, if you desire to, if that's cool, then do it. If that gets you excited and you feel like that gives you more exuberance or more emphasis on your asks, then do it. And if all you can cope with is just standing in your doorway and making a quiet little ask, that's just between you and the moon, that's okay too. Okay? So, come Wednesday. Brilliant idea! Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. So once again, we're getting this forward motion message. And that's just so super exciting, right? Because it's like all of the asks that we've had Now is the time to start moving forward. So often we get told, and for me, definitely, I've been told so much over the last probably 3 years, sit down, hurry up and wait. Well, now we're getting this message a lot more, because now is the time to start moving forward. And this is exciting to me as a fiery little Aries. I'm like, yay! So this is fabulous. This is fabulous energy. I'm loving it. Enjoy it. So whatever you've been working on, whatever you've had little ideas brewing away in the background of your head, by about Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to feel like, oh, I've got the space and the energy and the drive to do it. So let's move forward. Prosperity. So again, I'm being told, remember about your words. Okay. With your words comes magic. And if you are having that mindset of, I can't afford or I can't do, what that's going to do is give you exactly what you've asked for. Can't. You won't have it. So it's not about going out and spending money like you've already got it. It's about having the verbal and the mindset that the money is coming. And if there's something that is a little bit out of your reach at the moment, by your bank balance, ask, what else is possible here? Make that part of your request to the moon. What is it I have to be and do to bring this into my world? And you might then have a brilliant idea that will come through after the 9th that will actually bring that to your space of actualization. Anything is possible. But the longer we hold on to a poverty mindset, the harder it's going to be. And this is also part of the 4D stuff, right? We're having to learn how to use metaphysics to bring our prosperity to us. So there's the book that I have recommended a few times. Let me just bring that up again in my things. Okay. All right. So it's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money, which is about using the quantum physics into bringing wealth into your world. Okay. And so this is about infinite wealth and abundance in the here and now. And it's by David Cameron Gikandi, Gikandi. If you put in A Happy Pocket Full of Money, expanded study edition, that will be fabulous. And you will be able to get that. It's only like a 7-hour book to listen to, and it explains quantum dynamics, quantum physics really super well in such an easy way that you can continue to move that forward into your life and bring it in, and it just makes things make so much sense, especially if you're somebody with a more scientific kind of a brain, but it's all very easy to understand. So keep that in mind. All right. And as we all know, our words are spells. Oh, that's what I was going to ask her about today. Damn it. It's all right. It was something that popped up today and I forgot to to ask my friend about it. And it's something that would be very beneficial to her group. So I put that on a post-it note and hopefully we'll remember it later. Okie dokie. And our card for this week to come for the collective is frequency. So frequency, be aware of where you're at. In here, in here, in here, in here. Are you detaching from yourself? Are you centered within yourself? Are you peaceful and calm? Are you anxious? Are you feeling avoidant about stuff? Do you feel secure? Are you depressed? Where are you at on the old polyvagal ladder? And because wherever you're at, that's the frequency that you're going to be putting out there. And I've just been watching a little bit of Cesar Millan, and Cesar Millan is the dog whisperer. And I just watched a wonderful episode where he was assisting a dog groomer with some of the dog groomer's hardest clients. And it was so interesting to see just how different the dogs were when the groomer approached the dog from a calm, centered space. And there was a comment under one of the videos that said, "I'm not a dog owner and I don't intend to be. However, I love your videos in relation to humans. And that's really beneficial to me." And I thought, yeah, absolutely. You can learn so much about handling or working with people by watching how Cesar Millan teaches the humans to be calm and centered, so that then they are able to be that safe, secure place for the dog to then relax. And I see this all the time when I come into a person's home and they are full of anxiety, especially when I'm having to come in and do like declutter and organizing jobs. And they are so tense, they are uptight, they are full of shame, and then they're angry at themselves for having let things get so out of control, and then they feel guilty because they have had to get someone like me in to help them out. So then they feel, and it's a cycle, just like Caesar talks about with trauma and stuff like that. It's a cycle, and they go through that. And you see it, like if I'm working with someone for 4 hours or a whole day, I see them. They go through the cycle. They'll become calm and relaxed, and then something will come up, and then they'll be back into like blah, and it's like, okay, come back to calmness, come back to breath. And I can't for one moment get frustrated or judgmental or anything like that. I've just got to have the optimum amount of patience, because if I don't, what's going to happen? The whole relationship's going to fall apart. And maintaining that level of calm and consistency over that entire shift, it's good practice, because this is what we've got to be moving forward, right? Especially with people who are not doing the work. We just got to be very, very, very calm. And it's a challenging thing to do, which is why it's so important to come back to that place of peace and calm, making sure you give yourself those spaces to unwind, to deregulate, to just decompress, rather not deregulate, decompress, and just enjoy being in you and your body. Happy birthday in advance to Tamara, because it will be her birthday on the 9th. So happy birthday for that, Tamara. I'm sure I will send you a very special message on the day. So I'll just plop that up in my brains. So yeah. Now talking tomorrow, would you like to put in your question, please? Because you have kindly donated for a reading. And for those of you who are new over on YouTube land, you are more than welcome to pop a little donation through, and then I can do a reading for you. Oh, dear. That's Tamara's team stepping in, so that's pretty cool. Of course, Tamara's team's a bit cheeky. They're like, new cards? Let's go play. I kind of like these cards though. They're very sweet. So the cards are The Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. Okay. So these are pretty jolly cute and special cards. They, as I said, they were gifted to me this week, which is pretty cool. How did I get so lucky? I got lucky because I was myself, and I allowed myself to be seen and allowed my magic to come out to play. And this beautiful lady gifted me these cards in return. See, I knew there was another set of cards coming to me. I just didn't know where it was coming from. And I said this to Melinda a few weeks ago now. I was like, yeah, no, there's another set coming. I just don't know. I don't know where they are, but they're coming. Did you pick these exact same cards? How funny. I love the feeling of like the clovers on the back. Oh, that's so funny that your team would then turn around and ask for them for me too. That's so funny. Let's see what we get, hey? They've been sitting on your shelf unused for months. Well, I've literally had them for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days, 4 days. 4 nights. And I was like not even sure that they'd come out to play, to be honest. But they've been pretty on point today, like when I have used them with this lovely lady. And it was really cool because I was able to encourage her to use more of her gifts rather than just relying on the book. And because it's so easy to rely on the book, right? But these particular cards, they're actually kind of nice to play with without the book. And that's what I really love about them. So this is a really cool reading that you've got here. So the first card that we've got come out is Share the Love. And what I'm seeing in this card particularly, oh, wow, is there's a whole bunch of people in the background looking very intimately at each other. And what I'm seeing within this card, though, is that lovely little broken heart that's in the heart that's in the middle of the palm. It's actually got a nice big crack through it. And it's almost like that that Japanese or Chinese art of putting things back together with gold. And I always forget the name of it. Anyway, you know what I mean. What I'm getting with this, though, is that there is some real magic in our healing of our old relationship stuff. And it's tapping into that space, the concept of the wounded healer. And what I'm getting for you is, good evening, Julie. I hope that you're doing really well. I think it could be carnelian, but no, the Japanese concept of putting broken pieces of pottery back together with gold is what I was trying to get at. So what I'm seeing for you, Tamara, is there are some beautiful openings, heart-opening stuff that you have been through recently, and in relation to your previous relationships, which is why this is all sort of in the background. There's some really lovely learnings that you are now able to share with other people, and how to progress forward. Thank you, Google. Kintsugi. I was like, it's a word that I find difficult to stick in my head. So everything in that is blah, blah, blah. Please stick in my head now. Kintsugi. Kintsugi. All right. Anything that doesn't allow that to stay in there. All right. So yeah, there's some absolutely gorgeous elements that are some lessons, some learnings, some openings, some guidance that you are now able to bring forward into your healing sessions and into your business, and be the guiding light for others to choose more of them. And there's that stuff with your inner child work that you've been doing lately, and all of the other stuff that you've been doing over the years. This, however, is an extra special element that you are able to bring to your clients. And I love that you have decided that you are no longer going to identify as brokenhearted. That is wonderful news. Wonderful, wonderful news, because you don't have to be. Those learnings, those moments of pain that you have healed, that's every little piece of gold going through that heart. Okay? And those golds are the gold nuggets of wisdom that you can now share. So that's really, really exciting. This next card says love abounds. And this, to me, when I'm looking at this card for you, and as we're looking at these full moon and eclipse energies, it almost looks like a full moon is like down. And if we think of that as being the eclipse as well, because of course the full moon, which is shining and behind the shadow of the earth, because that's how a lunar eclipse works, this is very, very true for you. And what I'm seeing here is that there's going to be a real specific moment during this full moon eclipse where it's almost like it's going to penetrate the energies through you if you allow them to. And these energies of unconditional love are just going to go through your heart and through your feet and through your arms, and you're just going to feel, and it might only be a split second, there's going to be just this beautiful moment where it just pulls on through. And I'm not entirely sure what time the eclipse will be in your part of the world, but if, again, good old Auntie Google can help you out with that. But I would highly recommend, if you get a chance, definitely be out there and see what other third eye opening moment you might have, because that's what I feel like. There's going to be a real massive unlocking of your third eye and a massive contribution of love, like unconditional love through your crown, going all the way down. I'm also being told, if you do not do this, if you block yourself off from it, if you get yourself too distracted and don't do it, you're going to end up with a whopper of a headache. So if you notice on Sunday that, or in whatever time that the eclipse happens in your part of the world, and you notice that you're starting to get a headache, take note of where you are resisting and reacting to this energy. Okay? So cool. I'm glad you're planning on getting up for it. I know in the Northern Hemisphere, it's like, I think it was, don't quote me on it, I think it was 2 p.m. Eastern is when it's going to happen. So for us, it'll be in the nighttime. So that's good. Like, I'll be setting an alarm because I get the sense this time I have to actually be up for it. So yay. So yes, don't be surprised if you resist and react to it and you just forget about it, whatever. There's going to be one hell of a headache coming your way. All right. Nice of them to give you a heads up on that one. Salt really helps with that. Master. This is an interesting card. If I hold it up a little bit closer. So what I'm seeing is you've actually kept your heart caged under lock and key. And you have kept your heart in such a way that it's been harder for it to glow brightly. And this full moon, again, this light around the character is just like, whoa. And it's inviting you to let your heart open, let the bars go, let your hands relax, let your body relax, let your masculine energies relax, and allow yourself to master your heart from a space of femininity rather than masculinity. And that's interesting because I think that's part of what this card is about too. It's about bringing that balance. Because of course we've got a lot of water energies down here too, which is about mastering your emotions. So let that lovely light shine. And as you allow that lovely light to shine, what will happen is that the magic that you have to share in this particular card will come so much easier. All of the attraction marketing, to put it in those sorts of terms, will become so much easier for you. You'll come across in a far more enticing and attractive and alluring and delicious kind of a way that people will not be able to choose to work with you. Okay? While you're still guarding your heart, while you're still having it under the lock and the key and the protective hands thing, which is funny because it reminds me of the symbol for one of the insurance companies. While all of that's going on, it's going to be difficult for you to balance your masculine and feminine energies. You just got to let that go. Okay? So that's pretty cool. And oh my God, the most perfect last card after all of that is Rebuild. And look who it is. It's a beautiful feminine character, but holy guacamole, has she got some power. Being feminine does not mean being weak. And that's something that this card is really showing you. She's showing you that you can be so super powerful and soft and gentle and potent and bright and shiny. And I mean, God, look at all of that electricity coming off of her. And the way I'm seeing this is there's just this space of absolute confidence within her. Like she knows what she's at. She's loving on her heart. She's not, it's almost like she's saying, yes, this is mine and I'm going to be discerning with it and I'm letting it shine too. Watch out, I might shine so brightly that it's going to blind your little eyeballs. It's kind of like, is it, which character is it? Which Marvel character? I think it might be the Green Lantern or something like, no, not the Green Lantern. Who's the one with the laser eyes, right? And he lifts up his screen and it's like, puts his little eyeglasses down. This is what I get. Your heart is so, so powerful that you have required to have such a very strong masculine energy. Cyclops? No. Maybe. I don't know. Irrelevant. You get the point. But it's like this energy is so powerful within you. This level of love is so fucking powerful that you have felt like you had to have such a strong male character, the strong masculinity, to keep it under control so that you didn't use it too much. But the problem is that you've used it too little. And that's the issue. He's gotten himself a little bit too big for his boots, and it's time to give him a little bit of a retirement and let her be the governing force in your life for a little bit. Bring some balance back to your masculine and feminine energies, and that's what you can ask during this full moon eclipse time, is ask for your feminine aspects to come into balance and be shining brightly. So you said you got shamed for using too much as a child. Well, there we go. There we go. So there's your next little piece of inner child work to do. And you may even find it useful to you to do the meditation that I re-released today around healing the damaged child within. So that has been re-released today. That might be something that will help with that little piece there. Okay, because your root girl is tied up in that shame of using your heart. So it's time to let that go. Unblock that from your space. Okay, because my goodness, this lady here, she's breaking down all of the barriers. She's breaking down the blocks. She's breaking down all of that family trauma. She is smashing through all the stuff that has once been a part of her, which is holding her back. Just by being the love and shining so, so fucking brightly. So you can do that too. All right, let us have a look at your yummy cards. Oh, great cards. I really do like them. your yummy card is acknowledge. So this is a space where you get to acknowledge all of your progress so far, where you get to go, you know what, I know I still have so much more to do, and thank you. Thank you for helping me to get to where I am right now. And that thank you has to go to you, your beautiful, amazing body, for always standing by you as you move through all these different energies. It has to go to, obviously, your higher self. It has to go to your team. Acknowledge. Take a moment to acknowledge just how far you've come already. Okay? Ooh. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tamara, for your beautiful, kind donation. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this week pans out for you. It looks to be quite a potent one as you move into these new moon and eclipse energies. So it's going to be good. And I look forward to seeing how you go after you wake up after your birthday. What a potent week for you. Whoa, that's so super cool. Righty, dighty. Okay, just check the PayPal. Okay. Cool. And Christine has done a session for tomorrow. Woohoo! That's exciting. All right. Where to go? Oh, yes, that's right. So for those of you who are not on my Facebook friends side of things, I wish to share with you a a beautiful space that I got to go to this morning, in fact. And as many of you know, I have been on a very, very deep healing journey. And on the 1st of August, I woke up, and for the first time in my life, I was peaceful and calm inside. And I am still peaceful and calm. We are now the 5th of September, so it's been over a month of feeling like this. And I'm just like, isn't that fascinating? And so along with that has been just sort of starting to think about maybe who I would like to bring into my space as far as dating someone or whatever. And with that has been a lot of questions around what that sort of person would look like. How would I function with them? How would they function with me? Just lots and lots of questions. Not really a hell of a lot of answers, just lots of questions. And my dreamscape has provided me a wonderful moment of awareness and enlightenment this morning. So as I said, I've had a very big week supporting, holding space physically and all that sort of stuff. And at 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, I woke up. I scrolled for about an hour. And then I went back to sleep. Where I was blessed with the most healing dream I have had in a long time. In this dream, I was doing something in the garden, which is not a surprise because my dreams required a scene, and I've been doing gardening this week after work until it got too dark to see. But I was tense. My mind was going a million miles, and there was a slight element of anxiousness there. A male friend walked around the corner, quietly allowed me to notice him, and as I did, he became aware of my emotional state. He sat down on a pile of stuff that was covered by a bright blue tarp and gently called me over. I was squatting down all up in my head as he gently called me over. Lorene, come here. I almost growled and said, what for? He said, because I can see you require a hug. Come here. I paused, saw his openness and the way he was offering me calmness and the protective space to just decompress. I got up slowly, grumbling. Still got stuff to do. And then I sunk down on the floor with my legs curled under me, between his legs, my back to his front, and he wrapped his arms around me. His chest was up, so I felt protected because I knew he was watching for danger. He knew I was watching for danger. As I began to relax, my head rested on his arm, my eyes closed, and the tension moved out of my body. A pillow appeared on the other side of me, because it's dreamscape and it can. and he encouraged me to lean that way to be more comfortable. He stroked my hair and I melted into the moment and drifted off to sleep. To me, this is what feminine surrender and to a self-aware masculine man looks like. That moment where on the surface all looks okay, but he can see beyond the outer, take stock of that, and know he can just hold space for her. There's not a fix as such required. I didn't need help in the garden. It wasn't really about that anyway. It's the knowing that women oftentimes require a strong place to land to internally process and rest and unwind. Sometimes it's within a conversation, but I feel for me, it's more so within the space of physical closeness. So even in my dreams, my vision of the healthy dynamics of my next love is making itself known, and it feels good. So grateful for the gentleman who popped into my dreamscape to show me this delicious space of surrender. You know who you are. Thank you for your magic. And the reason why I shared that was simply because even though we have maybe never seen the example in our real life of that, there's certainly no reason why you can't bring it in. You've just got to be open to it. You've got to be asking those questions. You've got to be allowing yourself the space to receive that. See, in that dream, there was no moment there where my friend was trying to fix me. It was just a supportive thing. And it was like, he wasn't trying to take my pain. He wasn't trying to devalue me. He wasn't saying that I shouldn't feel the way that I feel. It was the recognition that there was unprocessed emotion sitting there, and that I was maybe not allowing myself to process properly. So it wasn't a fix, it was a supportive thing. I hope that makes sense. And as I say, just watch this space. You never know. According to my card for this month, there's supposed to be something really exciting happening this month. I have no idea where or how that's going to look, but it's there. So we shall see. So, yeah. All right, let us do the poetry card reading. I hope you enjoyed that. It was in stark contrast to a dream I had a couple of weeks ago where it was like really, like I woke up and I was like, whoa, okay, that kind of shook me. And I've actually not spoken about that particular dream with anybody because I was just like, oh, that wasn't very nice. So, yeah, being able to see such a very big contrast, and they're both involved men, being able to see such a big stark contrast, I was like, okay, cool. My dreamscape is definitely allowing me to see what's possible out there, and the fact that I am moving towards the right thing and moving towards somebody who is able to hold space like that for me, which is just super exciting. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. All right. So we are going to do the expanding out tool. If we get any more readings come through after we do the gratitude book, I'll happily do them, but just mix things up today. So we're going to do the expanding out tool first, and then we will pick a number. So given that we have the full moon and the eclipse and the 9/9 portal all coming through, what I'm going to do is ask you right here and now, what question do you have that would be best answered by one of these poems? And what I'd like you to do is, before we do the expanding out exercise, put your question in the chat now. Okay, then we will do the expanding out tool. So put your question in there now while we're yabbering away. Okay, and then we'll do the expanding out tool, and then we'll pick the number, and then we'll answer your question as I match the two things up. Okay, so if you have a burning question in your mind, that will be, just so wonderfully contributed to via the full moon, the eclipse, the 9/9 portal, all of these amazing energies, these retrogrades that are going on, all the stuff. Hi, Crystal. Let's just see. Let's see how we go. Okay. I hope you're doing well, Crystal. So keep putting those questions in the chat. Okay. Cool. Oh, I'm loving these questions. They're great. For those of you who are new around here, particularly over on the YouTube side, welcome. Welcome. We've got a beautiful little community over here. And I live stream into Facebook and YouTube. So the YouTube people don't see the Facebook people, and the Facebook people don't see the YouTube people. But you're both as equally important to me. And this beautiful book here is my book. It is my book of poetry, and it was created over, is published back in 2017. 2017. So you can do the maths if you'd like. And basically, it essentially almost created itself. I was very, very resistant to publishing my poetry. There was it for up until that point when I started writing up these poems, not really a single soul apart from the odd handful of poems had ever been seen by anybody else. And so when my team, my beautiful, amazing, intelligent spirit team, very doggedly told me that I had to create my poetry book, such a funny story. So I'd been away in Maui for a 3-day conference, and one of the questions that we got asked in the conference, which was still just rattling around my brain, was, what have you already created that you've totally disregarded because you've already created it? And when you're someone who is super duper creative and always got some new thing, new solution, new project, blah, blah, blah on your brain, quite often what happens is you'll create that one thing, and it could be an absolutely brilliant business idea, or something that you could create a business with. And because you've gone and created it once, that's it. You just go, oh, that's done. And so the cool thing is that my team, when I walked through my front door and I said, okay, team, what have I already created that I've totally disregarded because I've already created it? And my team said, poetry. And I said, no. Oh, thank you. Good morning, UFO. You are my 100th subs. Thank you. I did see that I was at 99 this week. I was like, oh, I wonder who's going to be 100. Thank you so much. That is so super cool. Anyway, what I'm saying is, like, for you fellas on YouTube that are just tuning in, please write a question into the chat right now that you would like to have answered with these full moon and eclipse and night, and then we're going to use this book and see how we go with answering that. Thank you. Now I've got to get what is it you need? You need 1,000 to be able to monetize, I think it is. So just another 800 to go, or 900 to go. Oh dear, I love it. But thank you. That's just awesome. I'm so happy. It's a good day. Anywho, so over the following week, my team were like doggedly poetry. Every time I walked in the door, it was poetry, and I'm like, no. And one day I walked in from work, and I was still doing disability caring back in those days, and I found my poetry book was, and I lived on my own. I had no one living with me. I had nobody in my house, and my poetry book that I write my poems in was halfway out of the bookshelf, and it was pretty much right in front of me as I walked in the door, and I was like, I looked at it, I saw it, I looked at it, I pushed it back into the bookshelf. I said, no. And I carried on to the kitchen. And a couple of days later, once again, came home from work, from being outside of the house, and the poetry book was literally on the floor in front of the bookshelf. It had been pushed all the way out. And like I said, no one else had been in my house. It was certainly not there when I left. And I'm like, oh, fine, I'll start typing them up. And slowly but surely, I surrendered to the process of coming through and actually creating this book, putting it, making it into what it is today. So this lovely book ended up being an intuitive poetry book. I had no idea, but it is what it is. So that's really exciting. Alrighty, so let us do the expanding out tool first. And I see a few of you have put up your questions, which is great. We can keep working with those now. And please feel free, if any of you are just tuning in, to put your questions down there too. And we will work through them after we do the expanding out tool. So please close your eyes now. This expanding out tool is fabulous for bringing you peace and ease, and especially during these fun, exciting times with solar flares and eclipse season and retrogrades and planetary alignments, and there is so much going on. And being in the 4D, and just there is so much. And this tool is one of the best, easiest tools for giving you a little bit of space from all of that noise and from everybody else's noise to do with those things. Okay? This is why we do it every single week, at least once. So closing your eyes now, take a big, deep breath in. And breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up as you breathe in. Breathing in all the way down to the bottom of your belly. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down your body. And as you continue to breathe low and slow, become aware of your body. Become aware of all of your cells and molecules. As you become aware of your molecules, zoom down just that little bit further and see the protons and the neutrons all zooming around the nuclei. And zoom down even further, and you will actually see that there is space within the nuclei. And from this point of view, as you look around, you'll see that you are indeed actually 99.999% space. How fascinating. And from this space, you'll actually see that along with all of that, none of the cells are stuck or stagnant. Every single cell, every single molecule within your body can shift and change and move. Even the ones that appear to be dead form, being reabsorbed and moving into the energy of something else. How exciting. You could go further and you would actually see that you are the universe within yourself. And that's super exciting too. And now we're going to stretch out your awareness in a big bubble all around you, with you in the center, up into the sky and down into the earth. And now you're expanding out your awareness out beyond the building that you're in, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the country that you're on. And now expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the planet. Expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the solar system. out beyond the size of the galaxies, and now out beyond the size of the universes. Beautiful. Now leaving your awareness nice and expanded out like that, I'd like you to focus on your body once more. And this time you're going to grab your sense of allowance and you're going to expand that out. And for those of you who are new, your sense of allowance is your ability to be more than a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, where you're feeling bashed and trashed about by everybody else's stuff and being at the effect of everybody else's moods and emotions and feelings. And as you expand out your allowance, you become like a big, fluffy white cloud floating along, not really bothered by much. And you can see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and you see exactly actually what it is. It's energy. It's just energy. And you have choice as to whether you contribute or play with those energies, or you just float on by. Expanding out your allowance gives you the freedom to choose. So expanding out your allowance beyond your body in a big, big bubble with you in the center, up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness, expanding out your allowance. Beyond the size of the building that you're in, beyond the size of the country that you're on, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the planet, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the solar system, and now beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes, and now beyond your awareness. And just perceive how your body completely relaxes, because this is your natural space of being, to be this aware and this expanded out and in allowance of all that you are now aware of. This is the ultimate place of peace and calm. Things can't touch you because you are just space. You are that big, beautiful, fluffy cloud floating around, making choices to play or not to play. So now, as you have your beautiful question that you've placed into the chat in your mind, what number between 1 and including 1 and 88 will give you the most enlightened answer to your question? You might have a couple of numbers that will be rolling around in your head. Grab the one that's the loudest and the strongest and place that into the chat now. Hello, Paul. I'm glad you're having a busy morning. Playing Uncle Paul, helping the next door lady. She has 4 kids. My goodness. I'm taking them to school. They're having family drama going on, and I'm there for the kids. That's beautiful. That's a lovely thing to do, Paul. Thank you. Oh, I'm sure the kids are loving me being on in the car. And they'll be like, what the frick are you listening to? Cool. Okay. Let's have a look. So, first number up was Julie at 71. So let's have a look for Julie's question. All right. So, Julie, you asked how to break down the walls. And you've received your poem. It's called Reflective Brightness. She walks along in her own little world, humming a tune, remembering a love now lost, looking up to see her new love, her smile a shining beacon to be returned by one just as bright. The old is gone, but not forgotten. The new unwittingly making her soul sing. So how do you break down the walls, my dear? Find the love within you. Find that place of peacefulness. And whatever is stopping you from having that peacefulness within you, that peace and calm, and the only reason why I can talk about it is finding that place within you where and that demand to know what that feels like, that pace of peace and calm, and removing the blocks and the barriers, which is generally old points of views and belief systems about things like resentment and rejection energies and old childhood stuff. There's a lot of that coming up at the minute, and I'm getting a lot of heart energy stuff for you. And I was just reading the little blurb at the bottom, and it said, this one came out of a beautiful walk to the park with the boy that I was boarding with. It was a mum and a son, and I was taking the son for a walk to the park. There wasn't any new love as such at that time, more of an energy I could perceive. I remember the sun was shining, was beginning to set, and it was a beautiful hue of oranges and yellows, and the street lights were just beginning to come on, and I caught myself humming to myself, which I hadn't done in many, many months, and I smiled at the new possibilities. So, like I said, it's those moments, those micro moments of finding the happiness, finding those places where it brings you that peace and calm so that you can go, oh, I recognize this and I wish to keep that in my world. Okay. So if getting out in nature is something that brings you a lot of happiness, more of that. Okay. And if dancing around your kitchen to a good old 80s track, if that does it for you, then do it. Get out the tunes, get out your dance moves. it doesn't matter if you sing well or you sing terribly. It doesn't matter as long as you do things to help you move and process these old energies through your body. Okay. I hope that helps, Julie. And the work that I have done over the last nearly 3 months now has been absolutely phenomenally huge. And I'm so grateful for the body of work of all the theta-based stuff that I have done and worked with to help me move through the stuff of breaking down those walls so I can find that peace and calm within. It's vital. It's vital to do. So thank you so much for that question, and I hope that helps. Paul said, Lorene, one just asked who you are, and I said, too young to know. He's off to do the school drop-off now. Too young to know. Oh, you're funny. Paul, I don't know how old you are. All right, Nettie was next. What's Nettie's question? All right. So your question is based around number 22. So it's a very different way to do it. Okay. Will I find an affordable apartment within the next 3 months? Together in harmony. As you leave me tonight, I feel this strange feeling, one that I haven't felt in a long time. It's a feeling of peace, but also one of loss. Peace to know that you'll return, and loss that you aren't with me now. I want you to know that even if I can't say it at the moment, that I care for you, and that when we are apart, I'll be thinking of you. So a summer love that is remembered fondly, written for the guy who gently and kindly showed me it was okay to smile again. And I think, Nettie, that bottom part is exactly what you're required to hear. If you can come from that place of love and gentleness, yes, there will be a place for you, an affordable place. I get it, so much lightness off of that question and in relation to this. Together in harmony. And I think that is the key to you finding the most appropriate place for you. Find the place that feels harmonious. Okay? And that's something that you can ask for during this full moon and eclipse and the 9/9 portal. Keep that really high in your mind and in your heart of an apartment that will bring you the most harmonious time. Be in harmony with you and, whoever. I'm not sure if you've got kids or whatever, but there is just keep that feeling of harmoniousness in your heart, and then see what apartments match that energy. Okay. And then you'll find it'll come. When I was looking at moving out of the place 4 houses ago and moving into the little the place 3 houses ago, I had seen it and I disregarded it initially. And then it was getting more and more towards the end of my lease, and I was just like, this property is still up. And I didn't know why. I was really unsure what was going on there. And so I asked to go and have a look through. And it was so funny because this property played a really big trick on me. However, it met every single requirement. I asked for a house within my price range that was a standalone building, had plenty of space around it, and not too much garden. So limited amount of garden, but lots of space. weird combination, right? And a single-story building was the other thing. And this building satisfied all of that. Oh, and the other requirement was to be at least 2 bedrooms. And it satisfied every single one of my asks. It was a single-story, 2-bedroom place with a very small garden, a driveway that I had lockable garage doors, like gates on it. Not a garage, but had lockable gates. And out one side of the property was all blank land. And so I had loads of space to one side of me, which helped me feel calm and settled, or as much as I could be at that time. But what I mean by it played tricks on me is that when I did my walkthrough, it pretended like it was clean. It pretended like it was up and ready for me. But when I moved in, I saw the reality of it, which I was able to get the property with no problems. That was the other thing. It was absolutely destined. It was waiting for me. It was absolutely waiting for me. And what I found was dead cockroaches in the kitchen cupboard. There was mold issues in the kitchen cupboard. There was mice poops. The carpets hadn't been cleaned. There was moss growing on the insides of the windows, and the window tracks, and it was thick moss too. It was like a good 1/2 inch thick, growing in the window tracks. There was so many issues that I should have been able to see. But the house was just like, no, we have to present ourselves in the best possible way so that she will pick us. And the best part was that the house was literally 5 minutes drive from my previous house. So it wasn't too much of a job for me to be able to track my stuff backwards and forwards. It was the quickest move I've ever done. So I reckon, Nettie, if you have your requests in and you're very clear and you have that knowing of where you're at with creating that harmonious relationship between you and the home or the apartment, it will come to you. It will be so bright. And you can ask. When you do your request on the full moon, you can ask, make it so bright, I can't ignore it. And it might be something weird or unusual, something that you haven't considered before. So keep your options, keep your mind open. Maybe it won't be an apartment. Maybe it'll be something that's slightly different, but it'll be within your price range. Okay? So keep your options open, and you'll be surprised at what will come up. Thank you, Christine. Just doing the poetry stuff at the moment, and then I'll come back and I'll do your reading, honey. I hope that answers your question, Nettie. So according to this, yes. And keep that energy of harmoniousness in your mind, and you'll get there. Okay? All right. Next one was Melinda with 56. And Melinda's question was that. So Paul, okay. Back now. How do people do this every day? I need an app. Just kidding. Kids are a lot of work. Wow. Yes, they are. Now on my way home, and I have to sign in for work. Yes, kids are a lot of work. They are. Being the eldest of 4, and being the one that ended up playing mum to most of them from, 6.5, 7 years old. Yeah, kids are a lot of work. And supporting my friend who lived down the road with her new baby sister. Yep. And then I did childcare for 4.5 years. So, yep. So it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. Melinda. 56, I think you said. Yep. Cool. Oh, this is an interesting poem for you to choose, 56. Will I continue getting extra hours for the next few weeks at work, please? That is your question. Let us see what this poem reveals. Ooh, I think it's actually the blurb underneath that's going to create the most awareness around this for you. It says, You are the love of my life and my rock. You are the one who makes me laugh even when I am crying. You are the one that I trust when everyone else is against me. You are my heart, you are my companion, you are my soul, and I love you. So the blurb underneath reads, the neediness of that time is so obvious to me now. The ache to be loved and cared for, even at the total exclusion of my own awareness of what would create so much more in my world. The thought that I would be able to tough it on out and not make the same mistakes as my mum or parents did. In doing so, I ended up picking the same type of man as my dad in many ways, and chose to create so much space of hurt for myself, as well as those who really were in their own way trying to tell me not to do it. Unfortunately, they also passed on the stubbornness and tenacity. So what I get from that, Melinda, is extra hours. Truth. Maybe not. And also, where are you making this so significant in your world? That you've gone from being grateful to feeling needy. So it's that shift of energy of where you're functioning from, the frequency you're functioning from. Getting a lot of joy and sadness conflicting with each other around this, as like that feeling of I'm really grateful for my job, but at the same time I require more hours, so I'm feeling a little bit resentful and rejected and starting to doubt myself. And one thing I would like to say to that is, please don't ever doubt yourself. You're amazing. And I know that there's a space where you're looking at potentially getting a different job, and that there's pressure on you around that. So, like I said, the hurt and those who really were in their own way trying to tell me not to do it. There's that space of the people around you, certain peoples that are trying to put a lot of pressure on you to find somewhere else to work. So that's something that you're going to have to work through, as in, obviously the job market can be tricky, and also you're a lot more hireable now than you were 3 years ago. You've got a whole bunch of different experiences and skills up your sleeves now that you've had the last couple of roles, and you're doing really, really well. So don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt it when your hours drop a little bit and you're feeling like, oh God, and the money gets a little bit tighter and things like that. It's okay to look elsewhere from that space of curiosity rather than neediness. Okay. I wish I could tell you better news about the extra hours. The one thing I will say is the extra hours, if they do come through, be very grateful. Continue that beautiful, magical energy of gratitude that you already have and already are. And then more, I get the sense that more will come. But it's when we're in that space of neediness that the extra hours will dry up really quick, because it's just not attractive. So it's like you've got to turn your charm on, let your female wiles and woos, your wily little female ways to come in and play there. Okay. Find that space of deliciousness with the roster. Oh dear. Anyway, Melinda, thank you so much for coming to play with that one. I'm so super grateful. What an interesting way to use the poetry book. But I love it. That's awesome. Okay, Paul. Apparently you require a Disney World vacation soon, maybe for Christmas. Interesting. Have a great weekend, Paul. You're back at home. That's awesome. Have a great day. Have a great week. Enjoy all these beautiful energies that are going to be cropping up. And if you're supporting the family next door, don't be surprised if there's more emotional shit that comes up for you guys this week. Welcome, welcome, welcome to 4D. All right. Christine, you have asked a few little questions. Okie dokie. Question 1. Should I go ahead and call the emergency hotline for my dad? Will I have enough to remove him from exploitation from 85-year-old woman financial exploitation? Okay. I didn't think she was that old. I know your dad's about that age, but I didn't think she was. So just jumping back to Melinda for just a moment. Yep, totally understand the hours. We'll get more closer to Christmas, but was curious about now. All good. Need a bit of a break to recover from the past few weeks of extra hours. Thank you. Hugs. Yeah, I get that too. I was just going, I think I might need to do my next camping trip. Oh, dear. And so I asked my friend who lives up by the river, up north. Where is she? Moonta, by the coast. And I asked her about maybe going up there on the 20th. And she's like, oh, yeah, but it's grand finals weekend, so probably not. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I checked to see about school holidays, but I forgot to check about sports stuff. All righty. And she goes, oh, yeah, it's a country thing because they're like out in the country these days. And I'm just like, no, it's an Australia thing. It's just I'm not into sport. Oh, dear. So, all right, back to Christine's question. We're going to have some Tony magic. Interesting. I don't know why I always thought that the lady was a lot younger, Christine. Alrighty. Okay, all right. Please show me a yes. See you, Julie. Have a great week. Show me a no. Awesome. Come back to neutral, please. Truth, what will it create if Christine goes to the emergency hotline for her dad? Okay. We're getting a yes on that one. Truth, has she got enough to remove him, enough evidence to remove him from exploitation from this lady? Okay, at this stage, the pendulum says yes. Okay. So whatever extra information you have gained over the last couple of months has shifted the energy there. Okay, so good luck with that one. And Truth, will Dr. Adams call Christine back if she leaves him a message? Okay, this is not the right one for that question. Okay. Please show us a yes. Going cross-eyed. Please show me a no. Awesome. Come back to neutral. Truth, what will it create? No. Truth, will Dr. Adams call Christine back if she leaves him a message? Apparently no. It says no. Truth, is there a better way of contacting Dr. Adams? Yes. Truth, does Dr. Adams prefer to be contacted via email? It's going round in circles, so that's like a sometimes. Truth, does Dr. Adams prefer in person? Yep. So it appears that you require to set up an appointment with him and see him in person, and you'll be able to talk to him. He's yeah. So she's cancelled his physical therapy for him to get her money back from the bank yesterday. Priority, he's missed his physical therapy. I think I need to leave Dr. Adams a voice message. Oh my God, he must be busy. Yeah, Dr. Adams, he's not he's not picking up voice messages and stuff, it appears. And even if you were to send him an email, it's kind of like, it was, like I said, it was going around in circles. So it's like it's a sometimes. It's more of a thing of you just have to book an in-person thing. If it's in person, you'll get to see him and talk to him. Okay? Yeah. Book an appointment. Must be a very busy person, just doesn't have time. Okay. That's what I'm getting from that. Thank you, Christine, for your lovely questions. It's been a pleasure, and I'll get to see you tomorrow morning. That's awesome. Alrighty, my lovelies, let us jump into our meditation. Let's finish my cup of tea first. So just having a look and seeing where our collective energies would like to go for this one. Keeping in mind we've got the full moon, we've got the 9/9 portal, we've got the eclipse season, we've got all the things coming up. And also keeping this meditation one that is going to be lovingly created so that we can have this energy flowing for a long time as we move through these energies of the 4D and enjoying a collective easing of that pathway. Okay. So as we have a look at this, I'd like you to now close your eyes. We're going to do a nice quick expanding out just so that we're all on the same page. So just tapping in with your body once more, breathing in and breathing out. Expanding out your awareness beyond your body, beyond the planet, and out beyond wherever you've been before. Stepping into your space of allowance, expanding that out beyond your body, beyond the planet, and now beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in. And out. We're going to head up to theta. So imagine that there is a big stream of bright white opalescent light shining into your heart. And it moves down your body, down through your legs, down through your feet, all the way down through to the center of Mother Earth, curling around the center of Mother Earth and moving all the way back up through your body, up through to the crown and out the top, creating a big bubble above your head. Imagine yourself within that bubble. And now the bubble floats up higher and higher, beyond the golden light, beyond the rainbow jelly light clouds, and beyond the pink misty clouds. Through the big opening that has bright white opalescent light streaming through. Move through that opening until you're completely surrounded by the bright white opalescent light. Take a big deep breath in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, this time the bubble around you dissolves. And this time, as you breathe in, the unconditional love that is all around you right now will move in through your body, through every cell and molecule of your body, reminding your cells and molecules what it's like to receive unconditional love. Love with no rules, no boundaries. No projections or expectations of you, no resentment, no rejection. Just pure, unadulterated, and infinite, unconditional love. For some of you, this might be the very first time that you've ever felt that level of peacefulness. Enjoy it. Know that you can take this space of peacefulness with you even after we finish this evening. And now imagine that you are standing in a field. And in this field, there is a huge amount, everywhere you look, of these pretty white flowers. And these white flowers are creating a space of peacefulness all around you. These white flowers look like tiny little full moons, all glowing, thousands upon thousands of them. And as you gently walk among them, you feel the energy of the full moon radiating off of them. As you gently move through these flowers, this beautiful pasture of flowers, the full moon energy that's radiating off of these flowers is moving through your body, encouraging your vibration to hum with the peacefulness of the full moon. You feel yourself smiling, and you start to see some of those blocks and barriers that you've placed around your heart starting to melt away. The flowers continue to hum their beautiful energies, their beautiful full moon energies. The unconditional love of the full moon. You might decide to sit down and enjoy the flowers at a different level of your body. Maybe around your throat area. So your throat and your heart can now receive those levels, those beautiful vibrations, that frequency. To jiggle out any of those old energies out of your system, out of your throat area, out of your heart, vibrating them away in the most gentle, kind, caring, feather-like vibrational energies of the flowers. You may find yourself yawning or burping. All of that is a releasing of energy. Don't try to stifle it, just let it go through. And now the flowers are actually going to curl and close. A bit like what happens when the full moon goes through an eclipse. And the underside of those very, very bright petals is the darkest black. It's not shiny, it's matte black. And this is an invitation for you. And as the flowers are matte black and all the whiteness is gone, the flowers are now vibrating at a much lower energy, a much lower sound. And with this vibration, it is giving you the opportunity, it's inviting you to start to release, to bring up and release any emotional ties that you have to the old ways that are no longer serving you. This is a vibrational invitation for you to move those old stuck energies out of your body. You may have done so much work around healing the traumas of your family, of healing your relationship traumas, whether they be intimate or friends or institutions. Whatever the traumas are, the relationship traumas and the feelings associated with them, this is an opportunity that the flowers are now giving you by showing you their very delicate undersides that are the blackest black. It's now giving you the opening now to vibrate those old energies out of your system with the hum of these thousands upon thousands of dark petals, the dark side of the petals. As these energies move up and out of your body, you might find yourself getting a bit teary. Please just allow the tears to come. This helps to move the chemicals associated with the stress out of your system. Feel the vibrations move through your feet, through your ankles, through your shins and your calves, through your knees, through your thighs, through your pelvis, through your belly. Feel the vibrations moving up through your back, through your heart and your torso, through your shoulders, all the way down through your arms, through your fingers, to your fingertips, through your throat and your neck, all the way up through to the crown. And now the petals will be opening out one by one, in a very similar fashion to how the moon is slowly reimagined and revealed little bit by little bit after an eclipse or during the second part of the eclipse. These petals are now opening back out to white. Petal after petal after petal. And as you look over and look into the center of the flowers, you see a little gift in there, a gift for you, especially for you. It could be anything at all. Perhaps it's something to make your heart smile. Perhaps it's something that you never thought you would see again. Whatever it is especially for you. It's a gift. Enjoy. It's your little keepsake. for the deep healing work that you have done tonight and that you continue to do. Giving yourself a bit of a hug and a squeeze. You can imagine bringing your knees up to your chest, just hugging your legs to you. In this space, of course, you can. And now gently stand up. And you see all of these beautiful flowers stretching out for miles and miles in all directions. And you once again feel the vibration of that lovely full moon energy moving through your body, and you can feel how different it feels now that you have allowed those other energies to leave your body. You're now able to receive the full moon energies from these flowers with even more ease. And there is so much gratitude in your system because of that. And with the gratitude that is now rolling through your body and the unconditional love that is all around you, you can now feel that your body is humming with possibilities. And with this energy of possibilities, which is now flowing through your system, a doorway pops up in front of you. And on the other side of this doorway, it's your hopes and dreams that you have been asking for. So in this moment, at this time, with all the possible things and impossible things, or the I am possible things that you could ever ask for, from that space of absolute magical deliciousness, without any of the humanly restraints, all of those are now sitting in your heart. You're going to open that doorway. And as you push open that door, you see all of your possibilities, all of your asks. You look up and see that there is a 9/9 carved in the doorway, in the door frame. And now, with that in mind, an acknowledgement of the 9/9 portal, you walk through that doorway and feel what it would feel like to receive your most delicious asks The energy rolls through your body. I just ask that you take a big deep breath in and receive the energy of these now. Receive, receive, receive. Lower your barriers. Receive, receive, receive. Perceive what you would be required to be and do to receive this. All of your asks. And you might just be surprised that you are actually ready now. As you bathe in the energy of receiving all of your asks, you see the door behind you closes, the flowers disappear, the energy of all of your asks condense down into a beautiful ball and appears in the center of one of those moonflowers. You pick the moonflower as it's the only one remaining, and it continues to get smaller and smaller until it is so tiny. It's so powerful and potent with all of that energy. It literally slips into your finger and travels along your bloodstream, up your arm, and into your heart space. Where the flower now opens out and blooms. And all of your asks are now embedded into your heart space. And as the energy moves through your body from your heart, it's now imprinting on all of your cells, all of your blood cells. It moves up into your brain. That beautiful energy of all of your asks coming up into your brain, to your subconscious and your conscious mind, showing exactly what you do desire to have in your life. There is no doubt now. For it is so. And with that, this process is done. It is done. It is done. With great warmth and smiles and a lot of unconditional love, we now move down from Theta, through the pink misty clouds, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the golden light, into your beautiful, incredible body, where everything that we have just done integrates instantaneously. You're stepping out underneath the big, beautiful, crystalline waterfall. Feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet. You feel the water moving over and through every cell and molecule of your body, washing away any other little fragments of energies which are no longer serving you. These may be attached to things that we haven't discussed tonight, but are still ready to go because of the amazing work that you have been doing. Stepping out onto the big warm river rock. You feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. Open your eyes when you are ready. For self-care, please drink some water now. You may like to have a little salt. You may enjoy listening to this meditation again in a couple of days' time to reinforce this beautiful process that you've done today. It's amazing energies. Enjoy the potency of your own creations. Until I see you next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. Get out there, do something tasty for yourself. And remember, please enjoy every day, because you just don't know when it will be your last. Be kind to each other out there as we all move through so many energies, with the 4D playing a big, big part of all of that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. I adore you. Thank you. Till we see each other again soon. Bye-bye.